We usually picture empty space as a dead, absolute blankness where nothing exists, but that quiet dark fractures when we look at the microscopic scale. Between 2020 and 2026, three distinct streams of research in physics and neurobiology began to converge on a single realization. This research shows that empty space is a self-organizing sea of infinite potential, roaring with energy even at its lowest possible state. This text from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad shows that ancient mystics documented this same pregnant absence 4,000 years ago. They described a state where there was neither non-existence nor existence. Modern quantum field theory and ancient Vedic philosophy use different vocabularies to describe the exact same underlying reality. Viewing the void as an active foundational source changes how we define the nature of nothingness. At the largest scales, the Wheeler-DeWitt equation attempts to define the universe's baseline state. This is the ground upon which space and time emerge. This diagram represents the Casimir effect, where particle-antiparticle pairs flash in and out of being 10 to the 44th times per second. Even at its lowest energy state, the vacuum contains the potential for all possible forms. The Upanishads call this state of pure, undifferentiated being Sat. Because both the quantum vacuum and Sat represent a baseline state that is devoid of things, yet full of potential, the vacuum functions as the physical expression of Sat. In this model, space-time is an emergent excitation. The void itself is the primary container. Our physical existence is rooted in this unseen, roaring quantum foundation. We can move from the scale of the cosmos down into the biological architecture of the human brain. This 2024 research focuses on Stuart Hameroff's ORC-OR theory, which examines microtubule resonances within our neurons. The hypothesis suggests these biological structures are phase-locked to vacuum fluctuations. Our brains may be reading the informational density of the void. This parallels the ancient concept of chit, a beginningless state of listening or pure consciousness. ORC-OR suggests that awareness is a fundamental part of how the vacuum organizes itself. These findings treat human consciousness as an intrinsic property woven into the fabric of the universe. Beyond brain structures, we can examine our own intimate, subjective experience of bodily self-awareness. Modern interoceptive research shows that our sense of self arises from slow, humming currents in our nerves and fluids. These currents mirror the zero-point oscillations of the quantum vacuum. When they align, we experience a minimal phenomenal selfhood. This section of the Taittiriya Upanishad calls this experience Ananda. It refers to the intrinsic satiety of existence recognizing itself. Deep meditative states provide the biological experience of aligning our internal frequencies with the foundational frequency of the vacuum. Does this mean the ancient concept of Brahman is just another word for the quantum vacuum? As the text notes here, the quantum vacuum is the map, while Sat Chit Ananda is the territory. The vacuum is how the underlying reality appears through the lens of physics. This is a resonance between two different cultures, separated by 4,000 years, pointing at the same silence. Science has finally developed the mathematical sensitivity to describe what the ancient rishis experienced. This ground state is accessible within your own biology, rather than being restricted to a laboratory. The whisper meditation outlined here starts by quieting the breath. It directs your attention to the pause after the exhale and the question, to whom do these thoughts appear? Step 5 suggests that if you feel vertigo, you should realize the void is empty of everything except love's ground. In that silence, you find a listening that is chit, a state with no beginning that is Sat, and an intimacy that is Ananda. This leads to the ancient revelation, Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. Touching this silence reveals that you are made of the fundamental ground state of the universe.